Before we begin, if you are drawn to lost civilizations, buried truths, and mysteries history never fully answered, subscribe now. Because tonight, we descend into one of humanity's deepest questions. It begins not with a map, but with a warning. Over 2,300 years ago, a philosopher wrote a story that refuses to die. Plato. In two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, he describes a vast island civilization beyond the Pillars of Heracles. Beyond Gibraltar, beyond the known world, a naval superpower. Advanced, wealthy, organized, powerful enough to challenge ancient Athens itself. And then, in a single day and night of misfortune, it vanished, swallowed by the sea. But here is the question that still disturbs historians, archaeologists, and dreamers alike. Was Atlantis simply a moral allegory? Or was Plato encoding the memory of a real catastrophe so ancient, so traumatic, that it survived only as myth? Let's start at the source. Plato claims the story did not originate with him. He says it came from Solon, the Athenian lawmaker, who heard it from Egyptian priests in the city of Sais. According to them, Atlantis existed 9,000 years before Solon's time. Do the math. That places Atlantis around 9,600 BCE, the end of the last ice age. A period when the world itself was breaking. Sea levels were rising rapidly, massive ice sheets were collapsing, entire coastlines vanished beneath water. Flood myths appear across cultures: Mesopotamia, India, China, the Americas. Was Plato preserving a distant memory of that global upheaval? He describes Atlantis as circular, concentric rings of land and water, engineered canals, vast harbors, temples plated in gold and silver. At the center stood a towering temple to Poseidon. This wasn't a primitive tribe. This was an advanced maritime civilization. Plato writes of black and red stones, quarried from the island itself, of hot and cold springs, of massive walls reinforced with metals unknown to the Greeks. He even names a mysterious metal, orichalcum, a glowing substance, second only to gold in value. Legend? Or something misremembered through centuries of oral tradition? Skeptics argue that Plato was creating a philosophical metaphor. Atlantis, they say, represents a corrupt society, one that grew arrogant, immoral, and imperialistic. Athens, in contrast, represented virtue. The destruction was divine punishment, a cautionary tale. And yes, Plato was a philosopher. He used allegory often. But here's the unsettling detail. Plato almost never invents precise geographical descriptions for pure metaphor. He describes measurements, distances, architectural layout, political structure, military organization, 10 kings ruling 10 regions, a detailed constitution, trade networks, agriculture systems. Why construct such intricate detail for a simple moral lesson? Some researchers believe Plato may have been drawing from a real historical event, distorted, compressed, and dramatized over time. One of the strongest candidates? The Minoan civilization of Crete. Around 1600 BCE, the volcanic island of Thera, modern Santorini, erupted with unimaginable force. One of the most powerful eruptions in human history. The explosion collapsed the island into a ring-shaped caldera. Sound familiar? Concentric rings. The eruption triggered tsunamis that devastated Minoan coastal cities. Ash darkened the sky. Trade networks collapsed. Within generations, the once powerful Minoans declined. Could Plato have inherited a memory of Thera's destruction? Possibly. But there's a problem. Plato places Atlantis thousands of years earlier than the Minoans. Unless the Egyptian priests miscalculated, or Solon mistranslated, or Plato exaggerated. But there is another, darker possibility. What if the date is correct? Around 9600 BCE, Earth was emerging from the Younger Dryas, a mysterious period of sudden cooling. Evidence suggests massive climate instability. Meltwater pulses flooded coastal regions rapidly. Entire low-lying settlements, if they existed, would now be deep underwater. And here is where things become unsettling. Underwater archaeology has discovered ancient structures submerged off the coasts of Japan, India, and the Mediterranean. In 2001, massive stone formations were found off Yanaguni, Japan. Geometric, terraced structures. Natural formation? Or lost architecture? Debate continues. Off the coast of India, sonar scans revealed submerged ruins in the Gulf of Khambhat. Carbon-dated artifacts suggested surprising antiquity. Again, controversy. But a pattern emerges. Human civilization may be older than we once believed. Sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, dating back to 9500 BCE, shattered the conventional timeline. Monumental stone structures built by hunter-gatherers at the exact period Plato describes. If humans were capable of complex architecture at that time, what else did we lose? Consider this. At the height of the Ice Age, sea levels were over 100 meters lower than today. Vast continental shelves were dry land. Prime territory for early settlements. When the ice melted, those lands drowned. If an advanced coastal civilization existed there, it would now be invisible, hidden beneath oceans. Just like Atlantis. But let's return to Plato's narrative. He writes that Atlantis grew wealthy and powerful, but morally corrupt. Its rulers became greedy. They sought to dominate the Mediterranean world. Then, Zeus decided to punish them. A great earthquake, a flood, destruction in a single day and night. Here's the chilling detail: ancient flood myths across the world describe sudden catastrophe. The Epic of Gilgamesh, the story of Noah, the Hindu tale of Manu. Collective memory of rising seas? Or coincidence? Critics argue there is no direct archaeological proof of Atlantis, no inscriptions, no artifacts explicitly naming it. And that is true. But absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, especially when much of the ancient world now lies underwater. Some scholars believe Atlantis may have been located near the Azores in the Atlantic. Others propose Spain's marshlands near Dinana. Some argue for the Caribbean, even Antarctica. Most theories stretch credibility. Yet the mystery persists because Plato's account feels deliberate. Why attribute the story to Egyptian priests? Egyptians were meticulous record keepers. Their civilization was already ancient by Plato's time. Was he invoking their authority to legitimize something real? Or simply strengthening his narrative? There is also the psychological dimension. Civilizations collapse. Rome fell. The Maya declined. The Indus Valley civilization vanished. Every advanced society believes it is permanent until it isn't. Atlantis may represent humanity's fear of sudden annihilation, but what if it's more than fear? What if it's memory? Encoded memory. Pass-through story when writing did not yet exist. When catastrophe is too overwhelming to process, it becomes myth. Dragons may be misunderstood fossils. Giants may be memories of megafauna. And Atlantis may be the scar of a drowned world. There is one final possibility, and it is the most unsettling of all. What if Plato never intended Atlantis to be found? What if he embedded truth within allegory deliberately, knowing future generations would dismiss it as fiction? A warning hidden in plain sight. Because the true message may not be about where Atlantis was, but about what happens when a civilization believes it has mastered nature. When technology advances faster than wisdom. When power outpaces restraint. The ocean does not negotiate. The earth does not forgive arrogance. If Atlantis was real, its destruction may have been geological. If it was allegory, its destruction is inevitable and cyclical. And look around. Rising seas, melting ice, unstable climate. Are we repeating a pattern we once survived? Or is Atlantis simply the story we tell ourselves when we sense the fragility of our own world? After more than 2 millennia, no ruins labeled Atlantis have surfaced beyond dispute. But perhaps we are searching in the wrong way. Maybe Atlantis is not a place to excavate. Maybe it is a memory to decode. A whisper from a drowned coastline. A reminder that civilizations are temporary, even when they feel eternal. So was Plato a philosopher crafting allegory? Or a messenger preserving the echo of a catastrophe so ancient it predates recorded history? The answer remains submerged. And perhaps, that is exactly where it belongs. If this story pulled you into the depths of forgotten history, subscribe now. Because the next mystery may be closer to the surface than you think. And sometimes, the truth isn't lost, it's waiting beneath the waves.